So many men during this modern age are not taking control of their own lives. I've seen it time and time again. I've been that man time and time again where everything you do, literally, you have zero control. You're not proactive, you're reactive through every situation that goes on in life. See, I was like this when I was probably in high school, even throughout college. I was allowing for things to happen to me. Financially, I was allowing for my bank account to hit so low because I was like, some of you are afraid. Like, you're watching this right now, you're afraid to get into your bank account and see your balance every single day and hold yourself accountable to that. You have no control over your finances. You have no control over your expenses that you're doing. You have no control over the foods that you're eating. You have no control over your own relationship. And I'm not saying you need to be controlling, but you have to have some level of pulse to what's going on. You need to be able to analyze, understand women. You have no control over that. And you see how detrimental that is to not have any control over your life. Literally 99% of men have zero control. Life just happens to them. I call those men drifters. Drifters, it's very powerful to understand this concept. And if you haven't read this book, read Outwitting the Devil by Napoleon Hill. That was one of the best books I've ever read when it comes to why we are how we are, the difference between the drifter and the conqueror. I use the word conqueror because you need to conquer your life. You don't need to conquer people, but you need to conquer yourself so that you can conquer your life. See, you have no self-control. You don't know why you do what you do. You don't know why you have the bad habits that you have. You don't set your day up. When you go to sleep at night, you don't have a list of things that you need to accomplish the very next day. You wake up and you immediately react. You immediately go on social media to look at what other people are saying, conditioning your mind. You don't even have control over your own mind. Your mind will tell you to do something that's bad. Your lower self will pull you down even lower, while your higher self, which is your version of yourself that controls your emotions, that controls who you are. You need to control your life. Let's conquer the world together. That's why I created Training Grounds. Training Grounds is the ultimate self-development and fitness community where you'll learn training, nutrition, build social skills, and network. You need to have a community of men around you that are elevating you on a day-to-day basis, that's going through a lot of the trials and tribulations, so that way you don't feel alone. That's why I created Training Grounds. You'll learn how to build an incredible business for yourself, for me. So tap in, link is in the description. Become a conqueror, be around other conquerors, and let's conquer the world together. I'm gonna catch you in Training Grounds. If you don't control your life will spiral, and it will get to a point where there is literally no possible shot that you can ever recoup from that. And that's a fact. You have to be able to control your life. You have to be able to know why you're doing what you're doing. You need to control the inputs. You cannot control the outputs, right? I've said this in previous videos, right? The locus of control. You can't control a lot of the outputs that are happening, when they're going to happen, but you can control what you're doing to achieve those things. And the way that you take back your life, the way that you control your life, is putting systems in place, having non-negotiables every single day that you need to do, regardless of how you feel, regardless of what the day is, regardless of whether it rains, whether it snows, whatever that is. You have to get those non-negotiables done. See, 99% of men do not have non-negotiables. They have negotiables, right? They have things that they basically, their mind can convince them, because they can't control their mind. If you can't control your mind is going to trick you into not doing the things that you're supposed to do. So you need to be able to control your mind. You need to be able to develop that intuition. You need to develop that general's discipline, that conqueror's discipline. Conquerors always take control of all situations that they possibly can. And then when situations happen where they cannot control it, they've already planned ahead and they have things to be able to remediate those issues. But no, you're a drifter. All you do is drift. And what does a drifter do? They just skate by. Have you ever seen, like, when someone's just like on a lake or something, or they're on a boat, or they're on some sort of like a raft, they just drift with no paddle? You have no paddle in your life. You're just drifting. You're letting the waters take you wherever they want to take you. And then when you get to a destination where you shouldn't have been, where there's harm, where there's a predator that's looking for you. This is a very extreme example, but I'm just letting you know, like, you cannot be drifting towards life. You cannot let life control you. You need to control life to the best of your ability. And once you start doing that, you will stop getting anxiety. You will stop having depression. You will stop always worrying about what is going to happen next. When you start controlling your finances, you will never worry about money again because you will know how much money you will have. You'll know what you'll be doing to actually make money. And you'll live a financially free life. See, being financially free actually means you have control over your finances. There are two types of men in this world. There are the drifters and the conquerors. Literally the only two. Now, you can choose which one you want to be. I don't want you to be a drifter. I want you to be a conqueror. Drifter is somebody who does not have a vision for themselves, do not have any goals. They stay the same. They're complacent. They're coping around everything. I don't like being around those people, and you don't either. Now, the reality is, to become a conqueror, you need to have goals. You need to have a vision. You may not have the finances, but you do have $97 a month to be able to work with other men, to be able to have that motivation, because that's what's going to drive you the most. It's more of a group setting motivation. And that's why I created this, because I cannot help every single person one-on-one. So tap in with me. Link is in the description. Become a conqueror, be around other conquerors, and let's conquer the world together. I'm going to catch you in training grounds. I understand. 9-to-5 job. We have to do it. I've done it. But you have to understand that when you're at a 9-to-5 job, you cannot control when they fire you. But when you have a business, you can control how that business grows. You can control the number of people you reach out to for the service that you're providing. You can control the number of ads you put out for that product that you want people to buy. You can control the amount of content you put out for that business. You need to enter games where you can control the narrative, where you can control the inputs. At work, you can control the inputs of how you work, but you cannot control how your boss feels about you to where they can fire you at any point in time. You can't control how the business does because you are not tied to revenue. You are just a 9-to-5 desk job worker. You have no control over your life. And if you keep having no control, you're going to consistently be worried all of the time, trying to figure out what's the next thing that you need to do. Why are things not working? Why did this not work? Why are you in this situation? You'll blink and time will fly and you'll wonder why situations are not working. And I'm not just speaking to you, I'm speaking to myself. That's one thing I want to emphasize. Anything that I say, even if it may sound aggressive, I'm saying this because it literally happens to me all the time. Where sometimes when I do not handle my non-negotiables, when I do not do the things I need to do every day, when I let my foot off the gas because I want to relax, there's nothing wrong with relaxing. Program that time to relax. Program a week to take a vacation because you did so well. Celebrate the wins. Don't just celebrate just to celebrate. But you need to understand that you need to have that mindset of conqueror's mentality. You need to control every possible controllable input in your life. You can control what you do. You can control how you think. Your mind is the one thing that you can 100% control when you learn about it. Read about NLP, neuro-linguistic programming. That will help you understand your mind better. Educate yourself on these different things. Stop letting your conscious mind dictate everything. Tap into your unconscious mind. Control your unconscious mind. That is where all of the actions take place that lead to the results in your life that you either like or you dislike. But it all starts with having that awareness to be able to control you, control yourself. Take back your life by controlling yourself, controlling you. You cannot control other people. You cannot control the outcomes, the outcomes of nature, when it rains, when it snows. You cannot control those things. But what you can control is you. And you need to be a man and take ownership of that. Stop drifting. I despise drifters, people who cope for everything. You're like, oh, well, this happened to me. I couldn't control this. I couldn't control it. Yes, you could. You could have taken preventative measures, but you didn't because you're not a man. You're a child. See, children can't control anything. They don't have the level of awareness to be able to control what they do every day. They need parents. And sometimes even the parents act like children and they can't control anything. Maybe that's what you went through. Maybe you had parents that couldn't control their own lives. See, I had parents that could not control their lives. They couldn't control themselves. They couldn't control their financial standings. And I suffered because of that, because I inherited those characteristics. And you watching this right now, I guarantee you inherited some of those characteristics. And you need to break out of that. This video is going to help you break out of that. You have to deal with the non-negotiables every single day when you wake up. Before you go to sleep, you should have a list of things, laundry list of things that you need to do every single day to make sure that that day is successful based on the goals that you have set for yourself. You have to have a goal. I made a previous video on having a goal. You need to have a goal because that's the only way you're going to control the progress that you make and actually understand and analyze the progress that you make. Too many of you are moving blindly. Too many of you don't actually want to make a difference in your life. You're too comfortable. Get uncomfortable and start being comfortable being uncomfortable. That is when you become the best version of yourself. Do the non-negotiables. You have to. You're not a drifter. You're a conqueror. Remember that. You're a conqueror. I'm telling you this. I'm affirming that you are. Most of you need somebody who can affirm that you are. So I hope that you took this video and you really understood that, because at the end of the day, you need to win. I need you to win. I need more men to win, because that's going to elevate society. Right now, we have a society of weak men who take zero accountability, who don't understand anything that's going on in their life. They can't control their minds. They're addicted to pornography. They're addicted to drugs. They're addicted to everything because they've lost control of their minds. They've lost control of their bodies. They've lost control of their awareness. Regain control. That way your life will be a lot easier and it will stop feeling like it's hard, because you know what's coming up next. So I hope you like this video and you actually learn from it and you internalize it. Share this with a friend who is in a spiral, who needs to control their life in one way, shape, or form. It could be anything. It could be fitness. It could be business. It could be anything. Relationships. You need to control yourself in all of these. You are the one variable that you actually have control over. Why not master it? So like, comment, subscribe. Hit me up. Obviously, you saw what I was saying. If you want to be a conqueror, you have to tap in, right? I have my entire community training grounds, elite community of men who are genuinely bettering themselves every single day under my guidance, under the guidance of others. And I want to see you in there. It's very cheap. It's $97 a month, right? You have access to me. You have access to other men as well. Guest speakers that are going to come in and talk about their specialties. This is something that could literally change your life. And you won't feel alone. See, too many men feel alone. So I got you, and I'm going to catch you on the next video. One more thing. Maybe you don't have $100 because you're dead broke, and I totally get it. You might as well join my free newsletter, Mind of Martel. That's where I talk about mindset, training, fitness, masculinity, everything. You have to join. It's free. You'll be a better man. You'll learn something new. Get in there. Mind of Martel. Tap in.